This boy's name is William. His village is so poor that he has nothing to eat. Many people starve to death right after going to work. His family is very lucky to have some corn kernels to save. They have only one meal every 3 days. But the dry land cannot be cultivated. William held a small homemade generator to show his father. The small machine can take advantage of wind power to generate electricity to power the radio. As long as he creates a bigger machine, he can suck up underground water to water the plants. It's just that the father is in trouble. Who would believe a child when he's starving and about to die? The angry father destroyed the small generator. He again asked the boy to continue working the country with him and not to worry about this nonsense anymore. The boy's hometown of Malawi is very poor. The government sold all the protection forests to China. William looked at all the trees being cut down and knew there would be a disaster. Soon after, the forest was cut down and the storm season came. Malawi was affected by floods and all the crops were swept away. The father tried to rake back some seeds, but it was all in vain. The next disaster was a long drought. It is forecast to last for 6 months. Drought destroys all crops. The father is worried that this year is not going well. No more forests cause the weather to become harsh. While the people were having difficulties, the government held a lavish meeting because the money from selling to China made them rich. This year's corn harvest is only this much. All of it can only last for 2 months, but they need to make it last for 1 year until the next crop. The father had to cut off the corrugated iron roof in exchange for counterfeit money. These can still be sold to buy food. That day, William sat at the last table and saw the principal get up toward him. The boy quickly bowed his head, but was still seen by the principal. William said his father would pay the tuition. The principal said that if he did not pay tuition, he was stealing knowledge from the school. After speaking, he kicked William out of class. The boy inherently craves knowledge, but in such a bad society, wanting to learn is a luxury. Looking at the dry land, the boy was extremely sad. Suddenly, the commune announced that food aid was sent from the US. The mother quickly told him to go buy it. He sat on the bike and rode quickly to town. William saw a lot of people lining up. He thought for a moment, then ran around to the back door. The manager said today there were only limited sales, just like the subsidy period somewhere in the past. Everyone rushed in. The boy risked his life. In the end, he could only buy 15 kilograms. But outside the gate was too crowded to get through. There were many people who are starving to death outside. Facing life and death, they have completely lost their reason. Hunger drove them crazy. Protecting this bag of food is sometimes even harder than protecting the American president. William asked his boss for help. He helped him make a hole to escape through the back door. After returning home, he learned that his father was not home when he went shopping. A starving man broke into the house. At that time, there were only women. The man stole the food. Even the few corn kernels at home were robbed by him. The food at home is gone. Mother cried. Now there are only a few corn kernels left, the ones William bought. They are only enough for 1 meal a day. Dad asked the family what meal to eat. The mother wants to have dinner because you can't sleep on an empty stomach. William wants to have breakfast. After William's sister heard it, she couldn't bear it anymore. She went out and blamed her parents for giving birth to her. She would rather not exist. Wouldn't that be one less mouth to feed? The mother really couldn't bear it and beat her daughter. Do you think I will let you starve to death? Wait until I cut off your arm and feed it to you. You will know how much I love you. After listening, the sister realized she was wrong. She sobbed. William has a loyal dog, but because of hunger, it was so thin that only bones remained. That day, William called the dog, but it didn't move. He slowly walked forward and saw that the dog had passed away. William immediately knelt down like a penitent seeking forgiveness. Right at the most extreme time, William saw a device that gave him more hope for life. It's a magical device. Just turn the wheel and the front light will turn on. This light is like a halo shining on the boy. William came up with a bold idea to build a generator to pump water from underground aquifers. This can solve the problem of drought. This is Malawi, the oldest landmass in the world. In their life, people do not have electricity. William found the teacher and asked why his bicycle light was on. The teacher said it was a DC generator. He asked how a DC generator works. The teacher wrote its principles on the board. William didn't understand but was still extremely interested. This is not only the desire to gain knowledge, but also the hope of the whole village. The teacher suggested he go to the library to see. But because William didn't pay the tuition, he was expelled by the principal and can't go to the library to study. So William threatened the teacher. It turns out he saw his teacher and his sister dating. Under the threat of his
potential brother-in-law, the teacher took William into the library. Then he told the manager he can look up the information here. On the lower level of the bookshelf, William found a book about energy use. He thought about wind energy, something that his country had in abundance. William went to the landfill to find materials. Here, propeller blades and other materials can be found. But most important is the lack of a DC generator. William thought about the teacher's bicycle, but wondered how to get it. He thought of his sister, so he went home and told her about the plan. William said that he needed the teacher's DC generator and told his sister to use her charms to help. She thought for a moment. Who would have thought that the next day something big would happen? The mother cried and realized that her daughter had run away with the teacher. Dad was very sad and asked William to take his sister home, but he didn't know where she went. The letter said she loved her parents very much, but she had to go so that her family has one less mouth to feed. William sadly walked back to his room. On the table was the generator he longed for. Now he has all the components. He must quickly test it until the final step, processing plastic pipes into fan blades, then connecting the power cord to the radio. When you open the air inlet, the fan blades rotate slowly. The radio already has power. The friends happily danced, but William knew it wasn't enough. He'll make a bigger one. William wants to bring hope to the whole village. He showed his father his invention. This is a wind turbine. The rotating propeller will generate electrical energy. William said he would build a bigger one and use it to connect a water pump to pump underground water. It can solve the problem of hunger in the village. But if you want to do something big, you have to use your dad's bike. The wheel needs to be removed to cut the frame. The father, after hearing about his beloved car, told him to put this stupid thing away immediately. 3 famous people who want to bet better than your father? But he said he would definitely do it. After hearing that, his father became even angrier. Dad pulled him up and threw him to the ground. He told William to have free time only while helping him and not to even think about going to school or going to the library. Study something without going to the country? So William could only help his father farm the country. But what is the purpose of dry land being kept like that? The drought is bound to last longer. The villagers took turns leaving, just like the famine of 1945 back then. The rest just lived for a while, waiting to die. The cemetery is always full of new graves. But William refused to give up. He brought his friends to convince his father. But this made Dad even angrier. As a result, he was chased away by his father who held the hoe. In the end, they all had to leave. William has no choice. Only after returning home did his mother know what happened. She argued with her father. In the current hunger situation, life is difficult to maintain. Why keep the bike? The father suddenly woke up. He rode his bicycle to find William. Dad thought his life was a failure. William must be very disappointed in him. But the boy steadfastly told his father, "Dad, you have always tried to send your children to school, so in my heart you are always a good father." After pouring his heart out, Dad agreed to give his bike to William and cut the frame out as he requested. He helped William cut down trees to make shelves. The villagers also came to help. Not long after, the pump William built was completed. He took out the pump and placed the water pipe into the well. Then he pulled the propeller upward and connected it to the generator. Along with the movement of the blades, the generator begins to operate. The water drawn up from the ground began to flow out. To the people of Malawi, it was nothing short of a miracle. The 2 men even hugged each other happily. When there is a drought, water is everyone's hope. They are now confident they can overcome the drought. As long as the corn grew, they could overcome the famine. Dad and the boy looked at each other. Finally, the corn kernels became green. William's villagers had enough to eat again. The boy also adopted a new puppy. This is a movie based on a true story. The original story is called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Because of his perseverance, the whole village had new life. William then received a scholarship to study in America and entered the world. He achieved great achievements in the field of science. William said that knowledge changed his fate and his hometown. Is knowledge important or not? It depends on how it can be applied in life. People like William have used their wisdom to create a peaceful and prosperous world. No matter what you go through, believe that knowledge can change fate. If you want to see more movies like this, please comment below the same kind of movies so that I can continue. Goodbye and see you in the next recaps.